Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me once again. I've got a special guest today, the one and only David Bumble Lloyd. We all miss him in commentary, and I thought I'd have a chat with him today about the recently concluded World Cup, a bit about Pakistan cricket, and a few other topics as well. Bumble, very warm welcome to you.
Well, thanks, Saj. And I can tell you this, after about 8 or 10 weeks, I'm glad I wasn't out there. I mean, that would be exhausting. It went on and on and on. Eventually, we got a winner. We got two fabulous teams in the final. And I know we're going to talk about it, but the steal of Australia.
Yeah, I mean, just on that topic there, Bumble, how are they mentally so tough? Look, you've been in dressing rooms, you've captained teams, you've coached teams. These guys are invincible. 100,000 fans, Indian fans, hardly a yellow shirt in sight. They go out there and play as if they're playing in the backyard. No pressure, no problems.
Do you know, I genuinely feel that from a country viewpoint, it's a hand-me-down. They hand it down. It's a fabulous country for sport, and in particular cricket. And so you go all the way back to maybe Richie Benaud, and it's handed down through captaincies. You look at Steve Waugh, you look at our great mate Shane Warne, you look at Matthew Hayden, you look at Alan Border, Steve Waugh, as I've mentioned, his brother Mark, wonderful player, but Steele, and it's built into them. Ricky Ponting, there's no coming second is non-negotiable. There's nothing for second. There's absolutely nothing for second. And I think that they are well versed in discipline and mental toughness. When other teams sort of fall by the wayside and disintegrate, they're still chugging away.
Pat Cummins deserves a lot of credit. Two games into that tournament, the knives are out for him. You know, they'd lost both games and people were mocking them, really, or they'll be one of the first teams out. And look at that. He turns it around. They win the next 9 games. There you go. Trophy on the way back to Australia. He deserves praise, doesn't he?
Well, it shows me after losing 2 matches, 2 in 2, the togetherness of the dressing room and the management. Like, we get together, you know, we've nobody here supporting us. It's us. It's us. It's down to us. And they turn it around on one with quality. They've got wonderful players. And you can lose matches, we all know that. But to lose 2 in 2 will give you a bit of a wobble. But that's steely determination. And not to forget, you know, a lot of class, a lot of leaders, you know, somebody like David Warner, who's a steely, nuggety character. There'll be leaders within that team. And so Cummins, I would think, would say it's a pleasure to captain this team because they don't give him any grief.
And from the perspective of, you go out there, there's 100,000 blue shirts, and to keep that crowd quiet, Bumble, was an achievement in itself, wasn't it?
It is, but it's very easy to do. If you get on top, Travis Head plays the innings of a lifetime and hardly got a murmur. You'd think that the crowd would be appreciative and ecstatic. No, they're not. That crowd has come to see India win. And if you can keep them quiet, which Australia did, and that would be number 1 on the blackboard, whiteboard, whatever board it is in the room, that would be keep the crowd quiet. That would be number 1. And they did it wonderfully well.
In terms of India, 9 out of 9 group matches, comfortable.
Yes.
Won the semi-final easily. Went into that final probably thinking, Australia, good opposition, tough opposition, but we're going to win this. It all seemed to be geared towards them winning the tournament. You know, the conditions, the pitch, the home fans. You know, what went wrong for them though, Bumble?
I thought they lost track of where they were, i.e. in a semi-final by playing fabulous cricket. Don't get involved in what pitch we're on. It's an ICC tournament. The ICT are the governing body of the ICC are the governing body of the game. It just happened that this World Cup was in India. Don't get involved with the pitch. And they did. They got sidetracked. We want to change the pitch. Well, I'm sorry, it's nothing to do with you. It's a directive from the governing body that it would be a new pitch. Don't get sidetracked from the fabulous play that they've done. They were fantastic for 9 matches. And in my opinion, as a previous coach and player, they got sidetracked at the vital moment. Started talking about the pitch. The commentators, the ex-players, all talking about the pitch. Nothing wrong with the pitch. Forget the pitch, play the game. And play to the regulations and directives that are laid down by the governing body. They just lost their way. They were the best team. The best team just came up short.
It was an interesting point from Ricky Ponting, which echoes what you were saying there, Bumble, after the match, where he said that India seemed to not literally fall flat on their faces, but they seemed to get too wrapped up in the pitch, and it sort of backfired.
Absolutely. And if you're the opposition, you'd be saying, absolutely great. There's nobody bothering with us. We're just getting about our business. All the spotlight is on them. There's a bit of controversy, which there needn't be. And I personally think it played into Australia's hands.
A post-match presentation ceremony, Bumble, could have done with you out there, I think, on the microphone. There's some shell-shocked faces out there. I think some of them looked like they'd seen a ghost. Obviously didn't expect that result, did they? The likes of Ravi Shastri, etc.
Well, Ravi is one of the greatest. He is a fantastic bloke to work with. He is fabulous. And doing the presentation, I know, and I gave up presentations a long, long time ago. You've got about 8 people talking in your ear at once, and you're trying to interview somebody. And he would have had people in his ear telling him, do this, don't say that, move away from that camera, look at this camera. And no wonder they looked like they'd seen a ghost. And also, with the result, the result wouldn't have been what the broadcaster wanted for a start. The broadcaster would want an India victory and everything would be hunky-dory. So, Australia came, and I saw that presentation, and the trophy was given to Pat Cummins, and he just stood there like a spare part. There was nobody around him. 2 dignitaries just walked off. And then when they were giving medals and all sorts out, I think it must have been the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi.
Yes.
Yeah. He looked like he was going to burst into tears. Look, just shake their hands and say, well played.
Yeah, it was all geared towards an Indian win, that wasn't it? It was from, I think, ball one. That's all they had in their mind, that we're going to win this tournament. It's at home.
They're a fantastic team, and I like the way that they presented the team. They picked some quality bowlers. They had a wonderful attack. The batting is given. They're going to score runs, but they had a very potent attack. And I think also Australia, it's a test match attack. And I think going forward, and certainly England, are going to be looking to be picking more seasoned test match players. And in the past, and winning the World Cup, did England fine by picking one-day specialists. I think the game's moved on a bit.
Well, coming to your love for Pakistan cricket, we can't have a conversation without talking about the chaos of Pakistan cricket. So I'm not going to go through the list of resignations and replacements because we'll be here all night. But let's start with Babar Azam. Obviously, they offered him the Test captaincy and said, packing captaining in the white ball formats. He said, "Well, no, I'm resigning from all 3." What do you make of that, and the fact that he's no longer captain in all 3 formats?
Well, I think Babar is saying I've had enough. The easiest part is going on the field and changing the bowling and setting the field. That's the easiest part. All the political side when he comes off and the post-mortems about losses and who should have played and who shouldn't have played. Babar Azam is one of the great players of the world at the minute. Just get on with playing and let somebody else have the headache. And again, I'm with you. I'm looking at social media and there's another resignation and this guy's having his say, that guy's having his say. It's chaotic, really. And I can understand it from Pakistan. They were never going to win it. They were never going to win it. But you're harking back to the great team that Imran had. Now, that's quite a long time ago. And some wonderful players like Imzaman, like Yunus Khan, two of the greatest bowlers we've ever seen, Waqar and Wasim. It's what we've got now. It's what Pakistan have now. And you can't have all these political interventions. It seems very odd, certainly to me, that politicians would get involved. The coaches and the management of the team and the players are responsible for the game. Just let them get on with it.
For a current player, Babar Azam, who's chief selector now, you've got a current player who's the director of cricket and the head coach, Mohammad Hafiz. You've got teammates of the players who were out there in the World Cup, slating them on national television during the tournament. You've got the PCB sending out statements regarding the squad, or they're saying that, we didn't select the squad, this is the captain's squad. Absolute mayhem, isn't it, Bumble? It's not good for the betterment of Pakistan cricket at all, is it?
No, it's not. And the supporters deserve far better than that. And it seems to me like everybody's passing the buck. Not me, no, nothing to do with me, no, not me. And eventually, we're talking about Babar Azam. Babar is saying, well, I've had enough, thanks, I'll just do my batting. And somebody else can deal with all this. And so they've really got to take stock of what's been done and what's been said. And they've got to back off, just back off politically and appoint the right people. That is key. That is really key. From the coach and the chief selector, and get stability. That's all we're talking about. Not chaos. You need stability. Because how would you like, and I'm talking as a supporter of Pakistan cricket, how would you like to be a player with all this chaos going on? If I'm a player, I want to be serene, I want to be calm, and I don't want to be picking up the paper or watching the TV. He's resigned, they've resigned, it's his fault, it's somebody else's fault, it's nobody's fault, and then eventually it's your fault.
I'm pretty sure, Bumble, that in 4 years' time, we'll be having this conversation again after the next World Cup regarding Pakistan.
Oh, no.
Well, Bumble, thank you very much for your thoughts. Always interesting, always a pleasure to speak with you. And I'm sure we'll catch up again shortly.
Catch you soon, Saj.